Hey guys, this is Erimus Prime from Nerdy Geek Talk, the source for all your nerdy geeky needs. And this is a video about Titans Return products for Transformers. So this is some recent reveals, not necessarily things we didn't know were going to be made, but more or less we're getting to see what they look like. So, what happened was there was a event from Ozformers, I think, where Hasbro Australia let them see some of the toys that are going to be coming out soon and mess around with them, take pictures and post them on Facebook. So there were several things shown off. The first of which is the thing that is, well, there's two things that were already announced, and that is Galvatron and G2 Bruticus. And then there were two things that were not announced, which were Astrotrain and Ravage. So the ones we're going to look at first are Galvatron in his robot mode, and this looks to be like final plastic, like final production sample, because those plastics look done, and man, does this look nice. Wow, I don't think this could look any better, to be quite honest. He's holding squeeze play, I believe, in his gun mode, or slash T-Rex mode. I'm not sure. He's holding squeeze play in his like T-Rex slash gun mode. I'm not sure if that's supposed to be a gun mode, because it looks like a T-Rex with guns as the bottom jaw. But either way, it's Galvatron, and man, does he look so nice. That just looks great. Like, that purple is just so deep, and I love good purple, and that is definitely good purple. The metallic, the gunmetal gray on the knees with the red, and the gunmetal gray on the feet. Man, this thing just looks good. It pops. It's just, personally, this might be my favorite figure out of everything shown so far. That just, wow, it looks amazing. I cannot wait to get my hands on this compared to any other figure. I think this is my most anticipated one. So next we're going to be taking a look at Galvatron, in his gun mode. And this isn't a real gun mode. It's a like fan gun mode, but it's just still, he could somewhat make a gun. They did this at the event, and it doesn't look horrible. And it just looks like the cannon slash spaceship mode, just slightly rearranged a bit. But either way, it still just shows off how good looking the colors on this toy are. One reason I'm talking about the colors specifically is that Hasbro put on their Facebook page a little while ago a video of Titans Return figures, and in that video there was a Galvatron figure, and it looked not good. At first I thought, hey, is that like the G1 toy colors? And no, it wasn't. It was just very gray in some spots and had not hot pink, but a pink in the middle. Not purple, it was pink. And it had me very, very worried. But this Galvatron looks to be in final production samples. That's what it looks like. It doesn't look like it's a hand-painted prototype. So I'm very much hoping that this Galvatron we're looking at now is the real one that we're going to get, not the one that was shown on Hasbro's Facebook page in that video, which I think was just something they used an older prototype for, and they just used it in that video, not necessarily actually a production sample of that Galvatron, because that did not look right at all. So next we're going to take a look at G2 Bruticus. Also, you can note that Ravage is in the bottom right hand of the image. We'll talk about that in just a second. But man, G2 Bruticus, that looks nice. Shockwave, there were some other photos. We're not going to look at all of them, but there were some other photos that you could see Shockwave in the background and see more of the differences in terms of like him having orange and stuff. In this picture, it kind of looks like just the regular Combiner Wars one, but it is different. A little, not a ton, but he looks really nice. My only complaint I have two complaints. G2 Bruticus. Why does he have G1 Decepticon logos, not G2 Decepticon logos? Kinda weird, But that's just a nitpick. My major complaint with this is that it has that shuttle blast off. No, it does not have the shuttle blast off, which I was hoping that since Takara made that shuttle blast off, that Hasbro would put it on this G2 Bruticus, but not looking like it. This is still the plane. So it looks like we're going to be getting the aerial bot repaint as the G2. Hopefully we can get a G2 shuttle blast off at some point in the future. But yeah, some people thought that maybe we can have them sub it out, like say, hey, we know that Takara made that blast off shuttle figure, so can you use that? And Hasbro has said previously they have access to whatever Takara makes, and Takara has access to whatever they make, but it doesn't look like they're going to be doing this, because this looks like production samples to me at least. This doesn't look like it's hand painted to me, but it does look nice. As I am slightly disappointed that it's not Shuttle Blast Off, but it is G2 Bruticus, and even though it has G1 logos on it, it does look good. And now let's talk about Ravage for a little bit. We're not going to look at the in-hand images of Ravage besides this and Astrotrain. Ravage looks like he might be final, because those look like plastic colors, but Astrotrain definitely is not. The one they had there was hand-painted prototype, but this Ravage looks like it might be final. But either way, there's also official images of Astrotrain and Ravage that we'll be looking at in just a sec, but I just wanted to talk about the Ravage in this picture, because if you look at his head, yes, he has a new head sculpt. It's the Stripes mold from Titans Return Stripes, which is going to be one of Blaster's cassettes, who's a tiger, and so he's going to be a repaint of him with a new head, a Ravage head, but in the official official renders that we're going to see in just a little bit, that is a Ravage that is using the Stripes head, sort of like how at Toy Fair we saw Rumble is getting a new head, but the renders that they showed off had him using the Rewind head, even though we are going to be getting a Rumble with a new head. So that's the same case with Ravage. The official renders have a Stripes head, but we will be getting a separate Ravage, a new head, which I gotta say, it does look good in this picture. Like, I like that Ravage head. I still don't like the way the tail is, but this mold looks like it is either in the Stripes pictures and in this Ravage picture. I hope it's mistransformed. I know it's probably not. I know this is probably the only way you can get it to look best, but I can hope. Don't ruin my dreams. But no, this Ravage looks like it has a good head. The mold, we'll see how that turns out in person. But either way, okay, so speaking of Ravage's official images, let's move on to his data disk mode. I think that's what it's called. Yeah. So it's a black data disk, and it has details on it. I think they're going to be foil, like the previous ones were, like Buzzsaw was, and I think Laserbeak is going to be too. But yeah, it's not a cassette. It's okay. It's black. It's a new mold. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I doubt it has any remolding on here from Stripes, but I'm not sure. I cannot speak to that for sure. It does have a Decepticon logo at the top of the screen, which is nice, but yeah, not much to say about this mode, really. So let's move on to his other mode, which is new for him, and that is his plane mode, which is because Stripes has one too. It's sort of a plane. I mean, there's weird blocky wings on the side, there's a plane front, and there's Ravage legs sticking up in the back, and just little claws on the top of your plane. Yeah, this mode kinda sucks, to be honest. It's a block with a airplane nose, weird wings, and Ravage legs on top. But, you know, it is nice that they added in, they have a third mode, so he can be a standalone figure. He does not have to be Sorry, I just got distracted there for a second. He does not have to be just a cassette for Soundwave now. He can be his own transformer, so he can just be Ravage turning into a plane. But I'm not going to use this plane mode, so I don't really care what it looks like. I'm just going to use Ravage in his data disk mode to put him in leader class Soundwave. So yeah, that's all we'll say about his plane mode, because it is the weakest. Because the block is just a block. It doesn't have to be anything. This plane mode is just a block with wings. So next, we have his beast mode, robot mode. Not sure what to call it. But like I said, this picture has the Stripes head, but that is not going to be what we get. He is going to have his own G1 Ravage head. Yeah, so this mold looks Stripes didn't look great, and Stripes in black looks a little cooler, but still not good. This mold looks like it's going to be the only... This mold looks like the only disappointment from Titans Return so far, for me at least. But I'm not going to say it's a disappointment yet, because I don't have it in hand. So I don't know whether it will suck or be great. You know, hopefully it'll be great and surprise us all, but things are not looking too great for it at the moment. Okay, so let's move on to the let's say, yeah, probably what people are looking forward to most. Although G2 Bruticus is pretty awesome, and Galvatron looks great. But if you're watching this video, you're probably watching it because you saw Astrotrain in the title. Because yes, Titans Return Astrotrain got revealed. But we're not going to look at the in-hand images, because that was a hand-painted prototype. We're going to be looking at the CG renders. So first we have his headmaster. And his headmaster's name is... what is it? I can't remember right now. Dark Moon. That's what it is. So you can see it's gray and has purple head, legs, and arms. So it's just gray torso, purple everything else. I think this is a straight up repaint of Sentinel Prime's headmaster, but like this is gonna have an Astrotrain face, which you'll see. But yeah, no, I don't think this has any remolding to the actual like headmaster robot mode. So I'm pretty sure this is just a purple and gray version of Sentinel Prime's, but I don't really care about that. That's the one part that I'm like, yeah, it's fine. They didn't have to do anything because, you know, Astrotrain wasn't a headmaster, so I'm not going to use this headmaster mode a ton. I'm mainly buying it for the robot mode, and, you know, he is a triple changer, so that's nice. But, yeah, this is his headmaster mode, but I do like it in purple and gray. Wish I had a little bit of paint apps, but, what can you do? It looks good in these colors, though, I think at least. So, next, let's look at it in its head mode, and this is Astrotrain's head sculpt. It looks nice. It looks like Astrotrain. I like the yellow in the front, like that's signature of the character. The red eyes look good, and I like the little gray portions near like outside of his chin. I hope that is painted. It looks like it's a different color in this picture. You can see the purple. I think that's the arms of the headmaster in the back, which sort of ruins the circular shape of the top of the dome shape of his head. But I don't really mind it that much because the head sculpt does look good. So let's just move on to his... what do we want to look at first? His train mode. So yeah, it's a purple and gray Sentinel Prime train. This is a weird train mode, not gonna lie. I'm pretty sure you can switch out the front, which has like I'm not sure what you call that. The front of the train, which has like the metal a shield in the front, sorta shield type thing, which you could switch out for like the spaceship halves, which kind of look like it's a speeding bullet train. So, but I'm not gonna lie, I do like this. The train mode is a little iffy. It was a Sentinel Prime, but I do kind of like it as like a Cybertronian train, and in the colors, it looks great. The purple and gray, it looks awesome. Pretty much all to say, because it is just a straight up repaint of Sentinel Prime in this mode at least. This is probably the weakest out of the three of his modes, but by no means do I dislike it. I actually like it quite a bit. I mean, I like the color purple, and this has a lot of purple, and gray is always nice, silver, you know, but this is looking good. Next, we will take a look at his shuttle mode. And this looks kind of... It looks a little oddly proportioned in the... This looks a little oddly proportioned in the render that we're looking at right now, but in the in-hand images I saw, while the colors weren't as good, the proportions look really nice, and this is my favorite mode out of the train and shuttle. But this picture looks a little but it still looks good. All I'm going to say is I think it looks better in hand. I will get to see this figure in hand at BotCon in just a few weeks, less than 3 weeks now. Very excited. In fact, I'm actually going to be doing a video on the figures that have been revealed this far for BotCon, and I'll also be doing another video on Titans Return rumored figures sometime soon. But anyways, back to the subject on hand. It looks good. It looks very purple on top and gray on bottom is what I'll say. But I like it. It looked better in the in-hand images is what I thought, at least. This just looks a little weirdly proportioned. It looks a little wide to me. But either way, let's look at our final picture, and that is Astrotrain in robot mode. And man, does this look good. This looks really good to me. I don't know about everyone else, but I'm really liking the way that this figure looks. The gray, the red and purple breaking up in the middle of the torso. Like, there's not a ton of paint apps, although the bottom of the shins have a lot of like black paint apps breaking that up. There's some black on the shoulders, the purple hands. I like his guns. Whenever I saw Sentinel Prime's guns, I thought that they looked a little lackluster. Like, oh, that's not that great. But looking at them in robot mode for Octane, this is not Octane, this is Astrotrain. He's looking good. I like the guns in purple, is what I'll say. Astrotrain looks really cool. And his feet, the only difference besides his head that I know of, at least, between him and Sentinel Prime, because he's straight up repaint, is that his feet, he uses the shuttle halves. But I am pretty sure that you can just switch them. Sentinel Prime uses the train pieces as his feet. I think that it's literally a piece that you can just turn around and have whichever you want be the feet. So if you wanted your Astrotrain to have train feet, you can. If you wanted your Sentinel Prime to have spaceship feet, you can. I think the spaceship feet look better on Astrotrain, and I think the train feet look probably better on Sentinel Prime, although I haven't seen the shuttle feet on Sentinel Prime. So I think I'll be doing shuttle feet on Astrotrain and train feet on Sentinel Prime. So that way there will be a difference besides colors and heads, that they'll also have small difference in the feet and the way they look. But yeah, it looks good to me. I mean, these are just renders, so they'll probably change at some point, and we'll have to wait for actual production samples. But let's just looking at how Galvatron's production sample, which I believe that we looked at earlier, I believe that's a production sample. I hope every figure turns out as good as that one did, because that looks amazing. That's exactly how I wanted Galvatron to look, and I was a little worried that it wouldn't come out just perfect. Those colors, and man, that Galvatron just looks great in production colors. So that's pretty much it for this video. If you liked, make sure you like this video. Leave me a comment if there's any other videos you want me to do, or what you thought about these figures. Also, make sure you subscribe, because we're going to have several new Transformers videos coming out this week especially. Speaking of Transformers videos coming out this week, we are going to have, we're definitely going to have a video up probably tomorrow of the so far rumored Titans Return figures, and there are a lot. So ones that aren't announced, and I'll probably round up the ones that have been announced too really quick, just so we have do a roundup of Titans Return, what has been announced, what is probably going to be announced, and what, who knows, maybe other speculation on my part, not even just the rumors from insider sources at Hasbro. Then also, I'll be doing a video on BotCon and the toys that have been revealed so far, and possibly, speculating about what toys may be revealed at some point. I've already talked about, I believe, all of the the Predicus. I don't know if I've had a video on the combined mode. I'm not sure. I know I did videos on Ravage, Tarantulas, and I believe all 3 Tripredicus council members. I don't know if I did one on the combined mode yet. Also, there's new Transformers subscription service 5. Some figures got announced, so I may do a video on that too. But either way, stay tuned for those things. You can check out our site, nerdygeektalk.wordpress.com, for nerdy geeky news and articles there. And yeah, make sure you subscribe. This has been Erimus Prime signing off. Thanks, guys.